fun and games of sailing up the Malacca Straits at night. We've got a massive thunder and lightning storm. It's just like burst right over us.
In the last 3.5 years, we have sailed halfway around the world on our 37-foot boat, Florence, exploring new countries, new cultures, and sharing our adventure along the way. This time, we continue our journey up the Malacca Straits to Penang, dodging ships, fishing boats, and getting caught in a thunderstorm.
We're just continuing to make our way up the Malacca Strait, and we've got a pretty tricky section coming up. We're just leaving Panco Island and we're headed up to Penang. And in this area you get even more fishing boats than we've seen so far. So really you want to avoid sailing at night. However, for us, even if we go to the shortest legs between anchorages, one of them is still too big for us to do during daylight hours. We're just not big enough and fast enough. So we've had to choose between trying to stop in potentially dodgy anchorages where people have been hit by fishing boats when they're at anchor in the night, and still having to sail inshore between the fishing nets, and sailing at night but going much further offshore to hopefully get away from the fishing nets. So we're going to go for the overnight option, try and stay a bit further off, hopefully away from more of the fishing boats, and hopefully avoid getting tangled in a net. But neither of us are particularly looking forward to this one.
And also hope that we've got some wind and we can turn the engine on.
Oh yeah, we're motoring. There's notoriously no wind up this bit.
The Malacca Straits are notoriously busy with shipping, and this section is no different. We have to keep a very good lookout here.
So just passing some more buoys on the very edge of the shipping channel. You can't really tell whether there's a net between them or whether they're just straight down and they're pot buoys for crabs and things. So we just try to avoid them, but obviously at night there's no way you're going to see those. And once we get a bit past here, there is no shipping channel, there's no marked channel, it's a free-for-all.
Well, that's a good start. We've only been motoring for about an hour and now we have some wind so we can start sailing.
Put the sails up.
Yay, we're done with the engine. That's better.
We are lucky to have a boat which sails well in the light breezes. Otherwise, we would have to do a lot more motoring. However, the low wind speeds mean low boat speeds, so sailing here requires patience and vigilance. You don't want to hit that. There's a lot of debris in the water here.
Perfect sailing conditions at the moment. Hopefully this will last. just getting dark and we're just going into our night watches. So it's just come up and having a really good look around the horizon to see if there's any fishing boats with the last of the light that we can see. And there's a whole line of them just out on our port side here, which is actually further offshore than we are. I mean, we're out now in 40 or 50 metres of water. We're about 15 miles off the coast. And we obviously haven't come far enough because there's still fishing boats further out than we are. Thankfully, these are all fairly big ones. We haven't seen any floating nets or any drifting nets with markers on. And these ones being a bit bigger, hopefully they'll leave a light on and they'll be easier to spot. If you can see that one, it's helpfully just turned all its lights on. So that's obviously using its lights to attract the fish. So at the moment I can count 16 fishing boats all off to our left hand side offshore of us. Can't see anything inshore. They're starting to light up. I think they're going to be using lights to attract the fish, which will make them much easier to see. Okay, I lied with another 5 inshore of us as well.
Games of sailing up the Malacca Straits at night. We've got a massive thunder and lightning storm. It's just like burst right over us. The wind's switched through 180 degrees. We've got fishing boats doing 180 degree turns around us, and you can barely see through the rain. It's just hammering down. We've had to put 2 reefs in the main, 3 in the Genoa as well, because the wind's really just picked up really quickly. It really doesn't help that our wind instruments are packed up as well, so we've got no wind direction other than looking up at the masthead. You can't do that because your eyes get stung by the rain. I just have to wait for this to blow through, just weather it. See what happens after. It'll probably go flat calm afterwards.
Really hard to see the fishing boats now, isn't it?
Yeah, there's one over there with a red flashing light. There are no lights on it. And a couple of them, we were going past and they suddenly just turned straight towards us.
Can't see anything.
No. Well, that's the point, really.
There's no such thing as an off watch when the weather's like this. It takes 2 of us to sort the sails out, and even if you wanted to, you wouldn't stand a chance of trying to sleep down below. I didn't even have a chance to put any waterproofs or anything on, just throw my life jacket on before getting up to help Matt with the sails. What it looks like out here, it is not pretty. Oh. That's a fishing boat that fishing boat there was heading straight for us a minute ago. We had to tack and he went full astern. But unfortunately, now we're pointing directly at another one. Are you having fun there, Matt?
I am actually having a little bit of fun. I mean, most of the stuff we show is like, well, hey, beautiful beach, lovely easy time, it looks like everything's easy. It's not. It's quite often a bit like this. But it's just a challenge, you know? It wouldn't be the same if it wasn't challenging.
Clear of that cargo ship now. He's crossing in 8 minutes time to our starboard side, and the closest he's going to be is half a mile. That's a squid boat directly ahead of us. Pretty bright lights. Makes it difficult to see anything else.
Oh, it makes it easy to see the sails. You can't tell if it's moving. So we're just going to take the safe option, tack out of its way. Back to Genoa to help us around.
That light over there is a squid boat. It's really easy to see him, but it's very difficult to tell which direction he's moving in. And now the rain's gone, the wind's gone, and that squid boat next to us is so bright that it's even lighting up our sails well enough to see on camera.
Can you free off the wind with the snow?
Yeah.
Sorry, stop.
It's lightning.
Well, that was an interesting night. Bit of fun and games with the thunder and lightning. And thankfully we didn't actually hit any fishing boats. In fact, we didn't really have a problem with any of it. It wasn't too bad at all. We've now got the island of Penang just on our port side here. We're just beating up to it because the wind unfortunately is coming from where we want to go. We just tacked over, so we're heading inshore into the shallower area where the smaller fishing boats are, and possibly fish traps and nets and pot buoys. But because we've got daylight now, that shouldn't be so much of a problem. We can see them and work out how to go around them.
The dawn watch is usually a highlight at sea, as sunrises with unrestricted view of the horizon are often spectacular. The way we work our watches, this is usually my watch, but with that thunderstorm last night, neither of us got much sleep, so our watch changeover times and sleep patterns are completely scrambled.
This bridge is 24 kilometres long. It is the longest bridge in Southeast Asia. The bridge has a series of S-shaped curves, apparently intended to stop motorists falling asleep and crashing as they drive over it. No such problem for us.
Still looks scary.
Always looks close when you're coming through a bridge like that, doesn't it? Even though we had about 12 metres spare.
Yeah. All good though?
One bridge down, one to go. But this one has an added challenge.
There's a bunch of cables hanging down underneath the bridge right in the middle of where we need to go through. We sailed under the other one quite happily. I think we might turn the engine off this one and just go straight into it, because it's being upwind at the moment. We've got a zigzag underneath it and there's just not enough room with those cables hanging down. Boys, looks scary from this angle. I feel like we're going to smack the top of the mast.
Once through, we set the sails again and continued zigzagging towards Straits Quay Marina on the northeast corner of Penang.
We're still not used to seeing the high-rise buildings on the horizon after so long in remote parts of Indonesia. Well done, Matt. Quick swim. We're just coming into the marina and we suddenly had no power from the throttle, and Matt dove over the side. First checked the gearbox and then dove over the side.
Yeah, it was either the gearbox or something around the prop, so just jumped over the side, and yeah, that was wrapped around the prop, so the prop couldn't unfold and we just had no speed for the RPM we got, so quick fix, but not the nicest water to jump over the side
You were
into.
in, that was a record. I think you were in for like 5 seconds.
Well, it was pretty easy to just yanked it off, and then I didn't want to be in there anymore. I need to go in the marina. Right, at least we go in the marina, I can have a nice fresh water shower.
Yeah. Well done, Matt. We're staying in a marina here because there's been a lot of controversy over the anchorage. It's unclear whether or not we'd actually be allowed to anchor there, and once anchored, it's difficult to find somewhere to get ashore with a dinghy, as all the pontoons are privately owned. Luckily, Straits Quay Marina is very reasonably priced, at least for a little boat like us.
Next time we explore the city of Penang and the largest Buddhist temple in Malaysia.
Thank you to everyone who supports us to make these videos possible, especially to our star patrons:
Alan Becky,
Kate and Peter Adkins,
Robin Reamer,
John Bowler,
and Samui Yarvanen.
An easy and free way that you can support us is to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to enable notifications. Let us know what you think in the comments section, and we'll see you next time.